Roll up. Come and join us in Jerry Cottle's Circus, live and direct from White Hart Lane. Well, we knew it, we all said it, but we all kind of got a little bit sucked in, even me. Yesterday I was waxing lyrical about looking into Antonio Conte's CV and trying to find out a little bit about him, because it kind of felt like that's where we were heading, that he was going to be the next manager, and here we are a day later, in my limited time on the internet today, seeing that don't look like that's going to happen. It seems that just having a really flashy new stadium and great training facilities don't always cut it. It don't always cut it. Some managers are not swooned by all of that. Some managers think to themselves, you know what, I've got a bit more integrity than that. I want to win. I want to win something. Not only do I want to win something now, but I want to win something consistently and in the future. So, nice to talk to you, Daniel, my old son, but I'm not convinced. Bit like all your fans, we're not convinced. We're not convinced you know what you're doing. And because we're not convinced that you know what you were doing, no one's really trusting you. But ultimately, could this really be not expected? You know, we've been let down so much over such a consistent period that we're not really surprised, are we? You know, all the talk about Pochettino was never going to happen. I'm sorry, but it never was. And now all of a sudden Conte is available, but we're not going to go for seemingly the best manager around. We're going to withdraw on that because we don't want to give him a couple of more people to be his staff. You know, the staff that have been helping him win titles and cups and stuff. Well, you know, we don't want any of that. We want to keep our own people in. You know, we don't want to pay for those extra sort of hangers on. Why would we do that? We're Tottenham, we don't need them. And we know better than you, Antonio. You know, we know better than you. So, headphones just fell out. So, ultimately, we're not going to do that. And if you're not convinced that bringing through youth players is the way to go, then it's not going to happen. Now, to be fair, that kind of makes him sound like, oh, he's not prepared to work with youth. Makes him sound like he's not interested. But that's not necessarily the case, is it? Let's be honest. Maybe when he was being told to work with the youth, that was part of the, we'll give you some money, but the rest of them you've got to make good enough. But the guy doesn't know what's in the squad, in the development squad. He doesn't know how good some of these kids might be or not. So how can he be guaranteed that if they're not good enough, he's not going to be forced to make do with them and tarnish his CV in the same way that Mr. Mourinho has tarnished his CV in the fact that he's now not won a trophy at one club that he's managed, which I'm sure he'll be well chuffed off with. So, just kind of makes us a bit of a laughing stock, or even more a laughing stock than we already look, you know. So, I'm getting baited. I'm getting baited on here, you know, people saying stuff about being, you know, a tin pot club and all the rest of it. And, you know, and I'm finding it hard to argue because we just look so tin pot. You know, we're basically following the same mistakes that them down the road made of, you know, when they got their new shiny stadium. And it's just a nonsense. So we've now lost all of the seemingly elite managers around to come in to be the manager. So we are now back looking, like I said yesterday, fishing in a lesser pond. So if we're fishing in the lesser pond, number one, how does that make those guys that are now being looked at feel? How does it make us as fans feel in terms of getting excited about the future? If you're going from Jose Mourinho, Maurizio Pochettino and Antonio Conte, where are you going from there, you know? Now, an Eddie Howe or a Harry Potter or a, you know, Nuno Santo, they may well be fantastic for us. They may well do a great job. But if an elite manager is saying, I'm not prepared to stick me neck out for what you're offering me, and he's got the ability to manage people and all that, because that's all been proven, if you believe what you read, then these guys that have got more to prove, how are they gonna get that out? How are they gonna make those guys be better? When you consider that someone like Antonio Conte is saying, I don't think I'll be able to make them better if they're not good enough, and I want assurances that I'm going to be able to spend more money if I need to, if those kids ain't good enough. And you know, there you go. That's where we're at. So, absolutely shambolic. We are in no man's land, scrapping around to see who's prepared to come to us, even though we're paying mega money, to our shiny new stadium with our shiny facilities and our lovely new hotel. And you know, I mean, you know, let's be fair. You know, they're going to get a free pass to the Skywalk. They're going to be out at Abseil down the west stand, the south stand. You know, what can these people be asking for? I don't know. It's just a total mess. And Daniel Levy is digging himself into a massive hole. Now he may well be okay because he's a shareholder and all the rest of it. But surely for his own credibility and for ENIC's credibility, he's got to be thinking to himself, I need to hide here. I need to disappear into the background and let this Pratachich or whatever his name is sort this shit out, because it's just one absolute hopeless mess. And I've got to be honest, I don't know where we go. I've got no answers to offer. I've got nothing to tell you people. I'm just, you know, it's heartbreaking when you look at it to think, this is my club, you know, I've supported for over 40 years, and you know, I've got no idea where we're going, where we're heading to. I've paid £1,000 out just so as I can be able to go there and see me mates. Got no idea about who the manager's going to be. Got no idea whether our star players are going to stay. Got no idea what style of football we're going to have. Absolutely lost. Heartbreaking, absolute heartbreaking. And you know, I don't know. We'll just have to see where we go, and either have a rant and a moan about it once the decision's made, you know, and see what happens. But one thing's for sure, time's ticking on, and every day we haven't got a manager makes it even harder to plan for the future, you know, to plan for next season. You know, if we don't know who the manager is, how do we know what players we want? How do we know what players want to stay? You know, it's just an absolute mess. So, what can we do? It's in our hearts, so we're stuck with it forever. We'll keep going, we'll keep fighting, we'll keep supporting, because that's what we do. We'll keep paying our money, because that's what we do. We'll turn up, we'll go along, we'll sing our song, and we'll all go, up the Spurs,